Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. And this is how I would be sitting here if I didn't have scoliosis. But I do, and it hurts to hold my shoulder up. So it's yanked forward, and it looks like it's at a slope. Yay! Hopefully you are doing well. I have been in a lot of pain, but doing better. Last night, I didn't go for a full walkies. In fact, I went from here down to the corner and back. Did not take long at all. But it also didn't hurt that much. So today, I walked to Walmart because I needed food. I don't buy more than one day's worth of stuff because I eat everything. I have no self-control. If I have no food, I don't eat, and I'm happy. I'll not eat and be fine. But if there is food in the place, I'll eat it. So I don't dare, since I am trying to lose weight again. Even at my weight now, I am still well over 100 pounds less than I was at my heaviest. So, which, to put a pin in that, which means I have to talk about it real fast, there's the whole Nikocado avocado thing going on. Where apparently he just recorded a bunch of videos while he was fat and then lost weight, and now he's back and he's 250 pounds down. And he calls it a great social experiment. I've seen a lot of people talk about that. The big thing that is, he's going to be paying for this for the rest of his life. Because once you gain bulk, I have my laptop right on the table and my arm is over the table, so I bunked in the laptop. Once you gain weight, your body considers that upper higher weight to be your baseline. So when you're less than that, your body is going to do whatever it can to get you back up. I have to constantly struggle to keep my weight down to the 215 I am currently at. It is a struggle to stay down there. Because if I eat more than a can of something, I'm going to maintain, if not gain. This is the thing that is going to affect him for the rest of his life. Especially since he's continuing to do mukbangs. Oh boy. So yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to stay thin, because hokey smokes. Now that that's done, back to what I was talking about, being the pain thing and things getting better. Because I had no food, I walked to Walmart and back slowly. Number one, my heel, and number two, the sole of my foot, right underneath. Now I've been able to figure out exactly where that is and why it is where it is, and I think I figured out exactly why it happened. If you start in the middle of your knee and draw that line straight through the center of gravity of your leg, it's going to hit in your heel. Primarily right in the center of your heel. Not the side, the bottom that you walk on, in the sole of your foot part. That line is right underneath where it hurts. So I slammed with the piston of my leg bones down onto the ground with that heel. Now that could have been bad enough. I find it difficult to walk on like anything semi-solid. Taking a shower hurts because the bones of my feet push on the meat of my feet and hurt. That would have been bad enough, slamming down on the meat of my foot when I came down on the inside of my boot. But because I was walking on the dirt road, I think there was a raised rock. Lots of them there, and I think it was pretty high. So I had a point. And then the soles of my boots, I've been walking on them for months. They are really worn down. I'm going to have to buy a new pair here real soon. They're worn down. So I had a sharp point the meat of my foot, and then the piston of my leg bones. At the very least, I smushed my foot meat between bone and outside world. And I think the point of that also drove upward enough into the bottom of my heel bone that helped contribute to the white hot shock of pain that took my breath away and made the entire world focus entirely on that. So that's joyous, but I walked slowly and carefully. Didn't want to hurt my heel. Didn't want to hurt the meat on the bottom of my foot that has already been traumatized. My foot doesn't feel great, but it doesn't feel anywhere as bad as it did yesterday. So, later on today, might go for another walkies. Not really sure. Do want to, may or may not. So we shall see. I want the physical activity because I want to keep exercising because I don't want to have another heart attack. So there's that. Now, another thing, I talked about this yesterday and I'm going to reach way over here. So just a minute here. This thing here, I had mentioned that I had the game Dungeons, Dice, and Danger. I had also mentioned, I'm trying to get this so it's lined up properly, that I had questions in the rules because my neurodiverse brain needs information presented in a certain way or I don't get it. And so I had questions in the rules. And so I went and found, where do I put this now that's not far away? I'll put it over here. I found some videos of how to play. And they answered the questions. So the information that I couldn't get from the rule book was answered by watching videos. And it looks pretty cool. I mean, simple. You're trying to, by rolling dice and coming up with totals, move a line through the maze of the world so that you can go to each monster, take care of the monster, until you take care of the boss. Some of the interesting things about this, if you play the game with more than just yourself, like let's say you have 4 people playing the game, you have to beat 6 monsters, not individually. If one person beats 1 monster, that counts as 1 monster beaten. It doesn't take care of the monster on anyone else's map. They still have to defeat that monster on their map if they want to get points, but for the purpose of ending the game, 1 of the monsters is defeated. So 6 of the monsters have to go down. Doesn't have to be any one person that does it. And it becomes a very fast domino effect because as one person takes out a monster, there's also points that get marked if you do it in a specific way, and so that monsters can get damaged before you even get to them, and then they might die before you get there because of cumulative effects of other things. And when they go, it has a cumulative effect on other monsters, so another monster might go down, which causes another cumulative effect on another one. It does tend to domino quite quickly. Now, I haven't played it yet. I do want to. And I was thinking, because yesterday, or whenever I talked about it, I said, if you don't want to just use up your pad of maps, because it comes in 2 books of 50 sheets of paper, double printed sides, and then you'd have to buy the whole game again if you wanted to keep playing it. But even if you had 5 people, that's 10 games on 1 map. So I think that's probably enough. But even if you don't, you can just slide it into a plastic page protector and then just use a dry erase marker instead of a pencil. Now, one of the things I do want to do is get my tablet here dangling above the bit of table just so I can do some dice rolling and then play and show for everyone how it does. So hopefully soon. Big problem still now for doing such like that is not even this. It's me and my body, my heel, and now the bottom of my foot there. Because I have two tripods that I have to use to hold this thing up in the air, that's a lot of legs I have to walk around. And with my heel and the bottom of my foot, I'm not really able to walk around all that easily. So I'm going to try and figure out a way that I can do that and still do it. So that would be good. I wish... I love the fact that it's a 10.5-inch tablet. And, you know, that is just, you know, side to side. It's a big thing. It's big. That I can read it. It's 1920 by 1080 resolution. And under normal circumstances, I can read it because it's big. Now, if it was like the size of a phone, I wouldn't be able to read a thing. My eyes are terrible. Problem with that is when they make clips and stuff that go onto tripods to hold smartphones and tablets, they generally aren't for 10.5-inch size. And if you do manage to squidge it far enough that you can, I got mine in a case because I've dropped mine a couple times. To the point that if it hadn't been in a case, it would have been destroyed. I mean, it's gone whap, totally flat. I mean, hit all 4 points simultaneously. The screen would have been dust. The protector of the case held it together. So I don't want to take it out of the case. And if I do make a habit of taking it in and out of the case, it's plastic. Eventually, if I do drop it and it goes smack all 4 points simultaneously because I've been taking it in and out, it'll just go right out of the case. So, yeah. If I had a smaller tablet, it would be easier to record, but a smaller tablet's harder to read. I'm in that situation where I have to choose between A or B, but A is unobtainable and B is intolerable. Can't remember if I've talked about this. And did I talk about this yesterday? I cannot remember. Oh my God. But I finally figured out what I've liked in fiction with the... Yeah, I did talk about it. You know, it's where you've got two choices, and one of them's unattainable, one of them is unbearable. And I can't remember what I was talking about to bring that up, but hokey smokes. If I haven't talked about this, let me know in the comments. And if I have, I'm not talking about it now. I got still got waves in my hair. I got finger waves, and my hair is nowhere thick enough to support finger waves anymore. That's one of the reasons I have to keep it trimmed right here, because this part of my hair is already curling from the finger waves. It would go like this all the way down and all the way on the back of my head with all the finger waves. So many women through my life have said, I am so jealous of your hair. And it's like I would turn them and say, yeah, I just wash it with soap, brush it, and then fire and forget. And they were just like, oh my God, your finger waves are perfect. What was that for that? So yeah, I am still thinking of things. I am still working on the various peoples and stuff of the solo RPG setting, which, once again, here real quick, since I have posited on this world, you know, there has been a force that was driving what we would call dwarves up and out. And 250 to 300 years ago, about that time, they were forced up and out from the subterranean world into, well, not into, onto the surface. Thing is, of course, they were not set up for surface life. They lived in a subterranean world where they built in open spaces, caverns, but there was no sun, no moon, no weather. They ate their cultivated fungus. They didn't have to deal with trying to find food on the surface and figuring out what's poisonous and what's not, what's venomous and what is not, how to protect yourself from the sun. where the water is. When they came up, these great doors from things that had not been there before just opened up, and they started pouring outward. These exit doors on exit ruins, piles of stone with doors on the front. They came out in their tens of thousands, anywhere from 40 to 60,000 of them, and they had no idea what to do, so they brought sentimental things with them. Even when they came up where there were those that could help them, disease, injury, and starvation took them out by the thousands daily. And if they did come up where there was nobody, again, they didn't know where to find water. And if they did, well, a lot of them, rivers washed away and drowned. They had to figure that out. They had to figure out what to eat. But there were so many of them, they ate everything. And a lot of stuff is poisonous. And a lot of them died that way. And 3 days into it with no water, they started dying of dehydration and starvation by the thousands daily. I'll say that in English. I was going to say 200 and 300 at the same time, and it came out 2 and 300 years later, you can find these exit ruins. Doors open. Nothing grows close to them or inside the doors themselves. They are open, empty, and dead. There's dust and dirt that's blown inward, but nothing living. But around those exit ruins, the vegetation is just, it's growing riotously and huge for vast swaths around these things. Because as they died in their tens of thousands, leaving their corpses piled all over the countryside, all those rotting bodies delivered a lot of nutrients into the soil. And boy, the bushes and plants and stuff, they just had good eating. And in the midst of all of this riotous growth, you find them choked with old, bleached, dried, not dried, only where it's dry, but old bleached bones. No nutrients, all sucked away by the plant life there. Now, there were, of course, some that would survive. I keep looking at my hair in the camera, so I have to take care of it while I'm talking. Some of them, like out of a group of 40 to 60,000 of them, occasionally you'd have groups of like 1,000 that would manage to survive and pull through. So even today, on Carthcog, Llanloa, and Stelden, they are finding the occasional wild colony of Elvandri / Zandagko in the wild that have managed to survive for all this time. They've made their own culture, their own language, their own civilization. It's different. It's something people have to get used to, but everybody does their best to integrate them in when they are found. So thumbs up on that. Yeah, when they were pushed up and out from underneath the planet, not underneath, inside the planet, yeah, most of them dead. I mean, 70% of them immediately when they came up underwater. And of the remaining 30, 70% didn't last much longer than another week, leaving very, very few of them. So, but they're not in any danger of actually going extinct. Over on Carthcog, the Orcani helped them and helped preserve culture for the Zandagko over there. And while there's no preserved culture on Llanloa and Stelden, they have been integrated into the cultures of the continent, and they have their own cities and such around. They are in no danger of going extinct at all, and that is a very good thing, I think. Yay! But past that, I've just been trying to survive, what with my leg causing issues. I've been trying to understand games so I can continue to play the board games and such. I've been trying to continue to understand so I can play computer games. I have actually been playing a lot more of Titan Quest, which is not a precursor, but kind of a precursor to Grim Dawn, in that Grim Dawn has a lot of refined mechanics that were originally made in games like Titan Quest, and since it's a bunch of the same people that like went from here to here, it's really, really good and fun to play. Lacking some of the quality of life stuff that you would expect, but it's like 15 years old now, and they continue patching it and adding those quality of life things to it, and so it's really cool. Thumbs up for that. I hope you can get done what you would like to get done today, because that would be very cool. And if you are a Patreon patron, but if you can't, don't beat yourself up. I mean, really, it doesn't help, it only hurts. And if you are a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you. Your help is appreciated to no end. You take me from here to here, and that helps a lot. Thumbs up, thank you so very, very much. And before I talk about the people who leave me comments, if you could check out my GoFundMe in the description down below. I should talk this up at the beginning of the video, because I don't know how many of you have watched this far, but all analytics show that viewership drops off like this, and by the time you get to the end, it's just a small sliver. I mean, other people, big channels, have shown theirs, and it's the same drop. And that's fine, but if you are here and such, if you could check out the GoFundMe, that'd be very cool. I'm trying to save up and get a computer so I can actually play stuff that's not 15 years old and be able to record it and edit and record video. So that would be cool if you could check that out. You don't have to, but it would be cool. And if you have left me a comment, thumbs up and thank you. I answer as many as I can, which is not as many as I want, but with my nerve compression, I am limited. So I'm doing my very best. My very best. I'm not that heavy. I don't have that. Sort of. What was I trying to say? I can't even remember, but thumbs up and thank you for everyone who's left me a comment. It is appreciated. Anyway, 22 minutes and change, so I have yammered for way too long. But thumbs up and thank you. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. Oh, I kind of wish I hadn't done that one now. Ay, ay, ay. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. Yeah, no words of, oh, bonk, ah. That's not helping. I gotta change my position here soon. You take care and talk to y'all later.